So about 10 months ago, I made a video about overcoming perfectionism, kind of coming to terms with my own perfectionist tendencies and how those were holding me back. Recently, I've been kind of contemplating the topic again, but through a different lens. My son is 2 now, and so he's much more of like a little boy than like a helpless little being. And you know, during the day, we're doing a lot of fun activities, and he loves coming into my art room and sitting on my chair, and we've been drawing together, which has been really fun. He likes testing out all of the different like pens that I have on my on the table there. And we've been just kind of like every day we'll like take a page in one of like my old multimedia sketchbooks, and we'll just scribble and doodle and stuff. And it's been really, really fun. It's been like a great exercise in just putting marks on pages and like seeing what happens, you know, like absolutely no thought or planning, just, you know, creating something. So not only is it like helping him with like his hand-eye coordination and learning colors and letters, and we'll write stuff. It's been like so much fun, and I love like the different color combinations he'll use, and then like in different shapes I've been like doodling. It's just a good time, a good way to keep him entertained for like 5 to 10 minutes. You know, parenting is fun because it's really nice to look at the world through a child's gaze again. Just like he's coming in here and scribbling all over with a bunch of different colors because it's fun. He has no expectations, you know. He's doing everything for the first time. And when you're an adult, like coming into the studio, it can be like so daunting because like, you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourselves, especially when you're trying to like create like an art business. You want things to look good. Like you're always creating with the audience in mind. When you're older, like what are people gonna think if they see this? And I think like a weird mutation of that is like you develop at least for me, obviously it's different for everybody, but like over the years I developed like a really militaristic inner critic that is like looking for any little thing that other people might see and be like, ugh. Ooh, like you didn't do that right here, or like this looks off, or the proportions aren't exactly right, or you know, any myriad of different things that you could call out in like an art piece. You know, I've done that since I was a kid. Like I have sketchbooks of me in middle school, like critiquing my own artwork and calling it horrible and bad. So it starts young. Viewing our own art through that lens of like having an audience, that is what holds us back generally. At least for me, in my experience. But I've kind of had like a new perspective with the advent of AI art, interestingly enough. It's actually had a positive effect on my artwork, I think, which is interesting. Basically, in the last like year or two, there's been an explosion of AI art, especially like on Pinterest. I think specifically is what everyone's complaining about, is like just like it's everywhere, Facebook, you know. But it's like this like perfectly polished and rendered art. Like nothing is out of place, you know. When you look at AI art, it's like just like a little too crystal clear, you know, and in an uncanny sort of way. And to me, like as I learn more about art and art history and like different pieces of work, like the more I realize like yeah, the final piece, like, and the technical skill and everything is like really interesting and cool to look at, but it's like the story behind the artwork. It is like what the artist was going through at the time, what emotions they were processing. Like there's like a whole other like reality behind the painting. That's what makes art interesting. like, yeah, it can produce like technically interesting, pretty pieces, but it's never going to have any sort of emotional depth to it, which is like the reason humans create art in the first place. It really instilled in me kind of the value of the human imperfection and the human touch, and just like the ephemeral, like temporary quality that is life, and like the human artist behind the painting. Like, that's what's cool about it. Like, when you're buying an original painting, you're buying a rare, one-of-a-kind original artwork that can never be made exactly the same way ever again. So now we know that the goal is not perfection anymore. Perfection is, I mean, obviously, if you're interested in being like the most technically skilled you can be, like obviously still study and practice art, it's good to hone your craft, obviously. But that comes with practice. That comes with like, repetition and just like doing it a lot. I've been practicing, I don't know where I put it. I have an instrument, it's called a kalimba. It's adorable, but I've been practicing like a song that I really want to learn how to play like every day. In the beginning, you start off pretty clumsy, and I was pretty clumsy at it, but every day I'd come back and I just like play through the song at like once or twice, and every time I get better. And like it's about building the muscle memory. Like my fingers are remembering where to go like a little bit more every day. And that's the same with art. It's about just sitting down and creating and breaking through those like emotional barriers. Creating art is very vulnerable for a lot of people. You're putting your heart and soul into, a piece of artwork. There are a lot of psychological barriers that we face as artists in order to like get to that place where we can just like create like unabashedly and like really like from the heart. To me, like creating art is more of a process of digging deeper into myself and like bringing it out onto the page or the canvas or whatever. It's less about trying to create a commercial product that other people will like, buy, and enjoy, because we have a lot. The world is full of just like, vapid, aesthetically pleasing stuff. Like, I think a lot of people are searching for art and creators and stuff like that who do put deeper meaning into their artwork and like have purpose behind them and aren't just trying to like create like brain numbing sludge content. Like, I think there's a genuine demand for soul, art and soul. And allowing yourself to make vulnerable art really is all in here. It's all you. And it really has to start with your own internal voice and what you tell yourself when you're making art. 1,000%. That is the final boss is yourself, always. Always. Because who gives a shit about other people? We don't care. Like, everyone has their own opinions. And like, honestly, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. Other people's opinion of me is none of my business. I don't care. They have their opinions. It's not my business. I got bigger things to worry about. Bigger things on my plate, I got goals to reach. So like, anytime you hear yourself, your own inner voice, your own inner critic, like start in, you're just like notice it. That's like the first step, is just noticing that voice that's just like, wow, this sucks. I hate it. Blah, blah, blah. The negative voices. You just gotta notice that it's happening and then be like, pause, like take a minute, reflect on the voice and be like, is this helpful? Is this voice, is this thought getting me where I need to go? Or is this like an echo from the past, like of some mean things people told me in middle school, like like those people don't exist anymore. They're off on their lives and they're not mean children anymore, like like, think about it this way. Like, if every time you sit down to do something and you're internally berating yourself for not being perfect, are you gonna want to do that thing anymore? No, of course not. Your brain's gonna be like, no, I don't like doing it. It hurts when I do it, like, emotionally. So, like, when you sit down and you're trying to do something, be it making art or another creative pursuit or like working out or anything you want to do, slowly deprogramming your mind and like changing those neural pathways, so that you're not berating yourself internally or like whatever, and like make it a nice, fun, happy place and like an encouraging place, instead of being like, wow, that painting didn't turn out the way I wanted to, and there was it was splotchy and it wasn't very, instead of thinking about that, think about, wow, I'm so glad that I took the time out of my day to sit down and paint instead of, sitting on my couch and doom scrolling. Like, it's all about framing. You want to encourage yourself to do the behavior that you're looking to do, create more art. In this case, in my case, I really do like when you sit down, don't immediately jump into like a fully like a big illustration or a big painting, like especially if you're just like trying to get back into your hobbies again. Like, do what we were doing. Like, I have the take watercolors or like something, highlighters and markers, it could be anything, and like do random blobs, like random shapes, random like with different colors, like just try them out. And then I like to go back and like doodle, like with a pen or whatever, or ink, and then find the shapes and just like do nonsense. Like, don't actually try to make a finished piece, just like make marks. That's the goal. And just like get your arm going, get your brain going, and then like just try to have fun. Basically, I just wanted to make this video as inspiration or motivation or whatever, for people to get out of their comfort zones, especially me. I also am people who need to, listen to our own advice, to kind of get out of that, like, to break through artist block, writer's block, whatever your medium of choice is, and to get back in touch with why we even like doing it in the first place, and how to like get back into artistic practice. I personally am super excited. I've been having a lot of fun just like doodling and not having much pressure on myself, because it's been nice having the tarot deck to work on, like all of like that business side of like getting stuff manufactured. I've been doing that behind the scenes. It takes off all the pressure at the moment, which is pretty nice. I hope this video inspires you to get out there and enjoy some creative pursuits of your choice, and get out of the consumption habits that we all have. If you haven't seen the last video, it was about the no-buy stuff, no buying art supplies and using what we got. Do you have any fun little rituals that you do in order to get yourself in the mood to like be creative? I would love to know if you do have any. I've so far been liking the doodling with my son. That's been very fun. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.